so years, and more aggressively the last. So a second agent. So two, my left, and in fairness to them. Now, we will show some videos of people on the left first discussing what they think are the biggest threats to American democracy. So first will be Kamala Harris. Let me get her name right. Kamala Harris discussing her biggest threat to American democracy.
You asked before, what is the greatest national security threat to the United States? It's Donald Trump. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I agree, climate change represents an existential threat. He denies the science. You want to talk about North Korea, real threat in terms of nuclear arsenal, but what does he do? He embraces Kim Jong-un, a dictator for the sake of a photo op. Putin, you want to talk about
Senator
Russia?
Harris,
he takes the word of the Russian president over the word of the American intelligence community when it comes to a threat to our democracy and our elections.
Thank you, Senator Harris.
These are the issues that are before us, Chuck.
I hear you.
Next, we will have Governor Whitmer of Michigan, and what she thinks is the greatest threat to American democracy.
My personal opinion was that this administration has been reckless and not particularly well informed. I've never believed that they read all the briefings that they're supposed to read, but it's a whole nother thing to be reckless or ignorant and to be deceptive and to have American lives lost because of it. They knew, they didn't tell us. And I think the biggest enemy of the state right now is the misinformation that's coming out of the head of state. I think the biggest threat to the American people is the American president right now.
Next, we'll have Roland Martin, who is a left pundit, political pundit. He's been a contributor on political shows. Let's see what he thinks the greatest threat to American democracy is.
Joining me to talk about this a little more is Roland Martin. He's the host and managing editor of News One. Now, Roland, most secretaries of state, most politicians, and you have said to me that the problem in this country with voting is too little of it, not too much of it. We don't actually have a problem with a whole lot of dead people voting or people voting in multiple states. Best I can come up with is a handful of examples, per election. What is this about?
Oh, this is about pure politics. Russia is not the greatest threat to democracy in America. It is the Republican Party. I got lots of friends who are Republicans, lots of folks who are Democrats. I don't align with any party. But when you look at what Republicans are doing, not just with this commission, but what they have done over the last 10 years, it is clear voter suppression.
For so years, and more aggressively the last. So a second agent. So two, my left, and in fairness to them.